Hey, what's up everyone? This is Sean with RB Bass. I'm gonna give you a fishing report for Lake Camanche for June 5th. I fished the California Kayak Bass Nation Series, and leading up to that, I fished Memorial Day weekend as well for my practice, and I fished the 4th. So I got 3 days of fishing and the tournament day of fishing on Lake Camanche. So this is what I figured out. In practice, I was really focused on top water. I tried a zero spook with no luck. I also threw a Chapo, but I was throwing that transparent colored one, and I was getting blow-ups on it, but they weren't eating it. So in practice, I switched to this color, and they started to eat it. They were eating it pretty good. I caught some pretty good fish on it. It was sporadic action throughout the day. It wasn't really first thing in the morning for myself personally. Around like 9:30, I would get a few fish, then maybe get some more around noon, then 1:30 and on, I would get some more fish as well. And that was throughout Memorial Day weekend and the weekend of the tournament, even with that weather system that came in as well. The other thing was working for me. I spent a lot of time up the river arm. Underspin was working real well for me. Oh yeah, water temperature was in the low 70s. Water clarity was, I could see down to about 7 to 8 feet, and that was kind of key because most of the fish were coming in just outside of that view when you could see the bottom. So specifically around 10 feet to maybe 15. I think my deepest fish was around 20, but that 10 to 15 foot mark was really key for me. Going up the river, I went up all the way up past the bridge to where those round buoys are up there, where you get those steep rocks, the big rock boulders and stuff up there, big rock walls. Frenzy nail with a Reaction Innovations flirt worm. This was probably my go-to. I fished this a lot in practice and during tournament. It caught me a lot of fish, caught my biggest fish on this as well. The other thing that I discovered during practice, I pick up a lot of fish on points. A lot of the points had fish on them. Unfortunately, there are some of the smaller ones, but I usually throw good old 4-inch robo worm and prism shad. I would nose hook it, and I could watch them on the Panoptics follow it down, and they wouldn't eat it. But as soon as I wacky rigged this and dropped it down, I started catching fish. So that subtle little change made a little difference for me. The other thing, I did fish in the main body for like the last few hours on each day of practice and during the tournament. I do have a lot of confidence out in the main body. I think there's generally bigger fish out there, especially on the ledges. If you're real familiar with it, there's a lot of ledges in the main body, underwater islands, drop off, stuff like that. I went old school, a 1/4 ounce dart head with the old salt and pepper twin tail. This thing caught me some good fish as well. I mean, it's totally old school, and it always works out there. So my partner from RB Bass, Brandon Hernandez, fished as well. He discovered all those small fish were fine on the points. If you throw just outside those fish, there were larger fish kind of patrolling that area. So you got small fish here just outside. Those were the larger fish. He found that during practice. The other thing I could probably say is, on Saturday, there was the New Gen tournament. I spoke to the guy who caught big fish. It was like a 5-something. He caught that on a spook, so I didn't catch anything on a spook. He caught big fish on a spook, and I think he told me he caught maybe one more in the tournament. So there's always someone catching something that I'm not catching them on. So that's just how fishing goes. So another cool thing I discovered during the tournament and in practice, so the fish up the river and in the main body were just spinning up all sorts of bait fish and stuff. So there were some spinning up little bluegill about that big, spinning up crawdads, spinning up little shad, and spinning up little fry also. So the fish are out there, they're eating. It's just finding those right ones. So I would recommend moving around until you find them. And when you find those wolf pack spots and they are around there, I found them a couple times. Those fish are all 17 to like 19 plus inch long spotted bass, and you could tell they're real healthy. They got really vibrant colors on them. I would recommend, if you have another person in the boat with you and you're fighting a good spotted bass, most likely there's another one or a few more with them. Have your partner in the back of the boat, throw right next to you. You could probably hook up on some of those. So there you have it. Oh, and launching right now. So South Shore, they have both ramps open. They have the regular ramp. It's down to only 3 lanes right now. And they have the lower ramp out in the peninsula. It's kind of a dirt-looking ramp. It's technically 2 lanes, but they only have 1 dock right now. So it's real tight launching on the South Shore right now. North Shore, you still have the regular ramp, but it's really low right now. And there's people launching there as well. So there's a lot of unmarked hazards. So if you go out there, just be aware of all that and be safe out there. So thanks for watching. Hope these tips help you. And we'll see you on the water.